Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into healthy eating,
Okay.
and I get the feeling that you're not here for just the basics. I,
Right.
I think you're already pretty health conscious, so we're going to go beyond that, and we're going to explore some of the deeper stuff and some
Exactly.
of the
We're
nuances.
going to look at the latest research
Yeah,
and try to get to some of those aha moments
yeah,
that
exactly.
can really help you make different choices in your
Mhm.
everyday life.
Okay, so you're a specialist in nutrition and wellness.
Yeah, I am. And we're going to be going through this comprehensive document that you've provided me,
Okay.
which looks at everything from basic principles
Mm.
to some of the latest insights about healthy eating.
So it's not just what to eat,
Right.
but also the reasons why.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll look at the science.
Okay.
We'll explore different ways of eating.
Okay.
And we'll look at some common misconceptions as well.
Okay, so is all fat bad?
Yeah, like the idea that all fat is bad or
Mm.
that you have to skip meals to
Yeah.
lose weight,
Okay.
things like that.
I'm ready to bust some myths.
Yeah.
But first, what does healthy eating even mean?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I feel like it's always changing.
It's a great question because, healthy eating is
Mm.
so much more than just losing weight or managing your weight.
Right.
It's about giving your body the nutrients it needs to really thrive.
Okay.
And that's not just about physical health.
Right.
That's mental clarity,
Mm-hmm.
disease prevention.
Right.
It's about your overall well-being.
So it's like fueling your body
Exactly.
to perform at its best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Think of it like putting premium fuel in a high-performance car.
Right.
You wouldn't put the cheap stuff in there,
Of course not.
would you?
No.
The same with your body. You want to
Yep.
give it the best nutrients to help it function at its best.
That's a great analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
So, where do we begin? The document talks about these components of a balanced diet,
Okay.
like the old food pyramid,
Right.
but maybe updated.
Exactly. So we're talking about, fruits and vegetables,
Okay.
lean proteins, whole grains,
Mm-hmm.
and healthy fats.
Okay, let's unpack that. Starting with fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
They're good for me, sure, but what's the real deal?
Well, think of fruits and vegetables as like your body's natural defense system.
Okay.
They're packed with antioxidants,
Mm-hmm.
which are like little warriors in there,
Sure.
fighting off free radicals,
Okay.
those unstable molecules that can damage your cells
Right.
and contribute to aging and disease.
Okay.
And when it comes to, specific benefits,
Mm-hmm.
let's take vitamin C as an example.
Vitamin C. Yeah.
Yeah,
I always think about colds.
right. But there's so much more to it than that.
Okay, what else?
So vitamin C is not only great for a healthy immune system,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also really important for collagen production,
Okay.
which keeps your skin nice and firm, keeps you looking youthful.
Oh.
And recent studies have actually shown that it might protect you
Oh, really?
against some cancers by inhibiting the growth of tumors.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's not just preventing sniffles.
No, not at all.
It's about longevity.
It's about overall health and longevity.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
And fiber. That seems to be in everything.
And let's not forget fiber,
Yeah.
that often overlooked nutrient
Yeah.
that you find in abundance in fruits and vegetables.
Right.
We all know it's good for digestion,
Mm-hmm.
but it also plays a really important role in regulating blood sugar levels,
Okay.
which can help prevent those energy crashes and cravings.
So it's about keeping your energy levels up.
Exactly, keeping your blood sugar stable
Okay.
and even,
Avoiding those
those
cravings.
cravings that you get.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about sustained energy,
Yes.
blood sugar control,
Yes.
and even fighting cancer.
Yeah. But
All from fruits and veggies.
all from fruits and vegetables. Wow. And remember, the document recommends at least half of your plate
Okay.
with these at every meal.
Half a plate.
Yeah,
Got it.
at least.
Okay. Message received.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
Let's move on to lean proteins.
Huh?
I know they're essential for our tissues,
Right.
building and repairing them.
Right.
But what are some of the things we need to be thinking about here?
Well, it's important to understand that not all protein sources
Okay.
are created equal.
Okay.
You have complete proteins,
Mm-hmm.
which contain all 9 essential amino acids
Okay.
that our bodies can't make on their own.
Right.
And then you have incomplete proteins
Mm-hmm.
that are missing one or more
Of those essential amino
of
acids.
those essential amino acids. Yeah.
Okay, so where do we find the complete proteins?
So things like meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy
Yeah.
are complete protein sources.
Okay.
But you can also get complete proteins from plant-based sources
Oh, okay.
if you combine certain foods.
Like what?
So, for example, beans and rice together
Okay.
provide all 9 essential amino acids.
Right, so that's why that combination is so classic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a perfect little protein puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
And beyond their role in building and repairing muscle tissue,
Mm-hmm.
proteins are also really important for hormone production,
Okay.
enzyme activity,
Right.
and even immune function.
So they're really the workhorses of the body.
They're the workhorses of the body. They're involved in so many different processes.
Involved in everything.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so we got our fruits and veggies.
Okay.
We got our proteins.
Yep.
What about whole grains?
Okay.
I know they're good for fiber.
Yeah.
But what else?
Well, fiber is definitely a key player here.
Okay.
Whole grains are packed with both soluble
Okay.
and insoluble fiber.
Right.
Soluble fiber helps lower cholesterol
Mm-hmm.
and regulate blood sugar.
Okay.
Insoluble fiber keeps things moving along
Yeah.
in your digestive tract.
Okay.
But beyond fiber, whole grains are also a good source of B vitamins,
Okay.
which are essential for energy production
Okay.
and brain function.
So we're talking sustained energy again,
Yeah.
heart health,
Yes,
and brain function.
that's right.
All from choosing whole grains over refined grains.
Exactly.
Okay.
And speaking of brain function, let's move on to healthy fats,
Okay.
because this is where things get really interesting.
I'm ready to bust the myth that all fats are evil.
It's time to set the record straight.
Yeah.
So healthy fats, like the ones you find in olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
avocados, nuts,
Mm-hmm.
fatty fish,
Right.
these are essential for brain health,
Okay.
hormone production, and even vitamin absorption.
So they're not just good for us.
They're crucial.
They're critical for our bodies to function.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Take omega-3 fatty acids, for example.
Okay.
Essential for brain development,
Mm-hmm.
reducing inflammation,
Okay.
and supporting a healthy heart. And you can only get those through your diet.
Okay. I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
The document also mentions dairy or dairy alternatives.
Right.
Is that really a separate category?
It is. And it's a category that's becoming
Mhm.
increasingly diverse
Okay.
with all the plant-based alternatives coming out these days.
Right.
So whether you're choosing traditional dairy products
Mm-hmm.
or going for almond milk, soy milk,
Mhm.
or any of the other alternatives,
Right.
this category is all about providing your body with calcium,
Okay.
vitamin D,
Mm-hmm.
and other essential nutrients for healthy bones.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've covered fruits and veggies.
Yep.
For antioxidants and fiber.
Right.
Lean proteins for building and repairing tissues.
Yes.
Whole grains for energy and digestion.
Yes.
Healthy fats for brain function and hormones.
Yeah.
And dairy for strong bones.
That's right.
Okay.
And that's just the beginning.
Wow. Okay, so
There's more to come.
there's a lot more to cover.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at how these components all work together
Okay.
in different dietary patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be discussing practical tips for making healthy eating a reality
Okay.
in your everyday life.
Great.
But first,
Okay.
let's take a closer look at some of those specific nutrients
Okay.
that really deserve their superstar status
Okay, I'm ready.
in the world of nutrition.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before we move on, I just wanted to touch on something we mentioned earlier
Okay.
about how healthy eating is about more than just the food itself.
Right, like our relationship with food.
Exactly. It's about changing your mindset from restriction and guilt
Mm-hmm.
to one of nourishment and enjoyment
Right.
that can really make a big difference.
I know so many people,
Yeah.
myself included, get stuck in this good food, bad food
Yeah.
mentality.
Absolutely. And it's often counterproductive.
Yeah.
Because when you label foods as forbidden,
Mm-hmm.
it can actually create more cravings
Right.
and lead to unhealthy eating patterns.
Yeah. So how do we escape that?
It starts with being aware.
Okay.
Notice those negative thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and those judgments that come up
Right.
around food and challenge them.
Okay.
So instead of saying, oh, it's so bad for eating that cookie,
Right.
try saying, I enjoyed that cookie and now I'm going to nourish my body with this delicious salad.
Okay, so it's about changing the focus from punishment to nourishment.
Exactly.
I like that.
And remember, it's a journey,
Mm-hmm.
not a destination.
Right.
So, there'll be days when you eat more intuitively
Yeah.
and days where you're less mindful.
Right.
It's about progress, not perfection.
That's such a good point.
Yeah,
It's about finding an approach that works for you long term.
exactly. And speaking of sustainable approaches,
Okay.
let's dive into some of the popular eating patterns
Okay.
highlighted in this document.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of give you a framework
Okay.
that can help you make healthy choices more consistently.
So like a roadmap, but you can still choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Mediterranean diet,
Okay.
which always ranks high
Yeah.
for health benefits and enjoyability.
I've always been curious about that one.
Yeah,
Seems to have a lot of science behind it.
it does.
Yeah.
So the Mediterranean diet really emphasizes those whole unprocessed foods,
Okay.
like fruits and vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
whole grains, legumes,
Mm-hmm.
nuts,
Yeah.
olive oil.
So it's not just what you eat, but the quality of the ingredients.
Absolutely. Think fresh, local, seasonal,
Okay.
whenever possible.
Okay.
And here's the really interesting thing about the Mediterranean diet.
Okay.
It's not just about the food.
Oh,
It's about the lifestyle as well.
what does that mean?
So it emphasizes regular physical activity,
Okay.
shared meals with family and friends,
Mm-hmm.
and mindful eating.
Okay.
It's about slowing down,
Right.
savoring your food,
Mm-hmm.
and connecting with others.
So it's a very holistic approach.
Exactly.
Not just what you eat, but how you live your life.
That's it. And the research on the Mediterranean diet is impressive.
Okay.
It's linked to a reduced risk of heart disease, stroke,
Mm-hmm.
type 2 diabetes, certain cancers,
Right.
and even Alzheimer's disease.
Wow. It's like a recipe for longevity.
It really is. And it's
Yeah.
not just about preventing disease.
Yeah.
It's about enhancing your quality of life.
Okay. I'm sold.
Yeah.
What about the plant-based diet?
Okay.
This one seems to be gaining a lot of traction these days.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
Plant-based diets focus on consuming lots of variety of plant foods
Yeah.
while minimizing or eliminating animal products.
So it's not just about being vegetarian or vegan.
Right. There's a spectrum
Oh.
within plant-based eating.
Okay.
Some people might choose to be fully vegan,
Yeah.
while others might take a more flexitarian approach,
Okay.
incorporating small amounts of animal products sometimes.
Okay. So what are the main benefits of a plant-based approach?
Well, plant-based diets are typically lower in saturated fat and cholesterol, and higher in fiber, vitamins, minerals,
Mm-hmm.
and antioxidants.
Right.
They've been linked to a lower risk of chronic diseases,
Okay.
including heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
and certain cancers.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But there's always the concern that plant-based diets might be lacking in certain nutrients.
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
It is, but with careful planning,
Okay.
you can absolutely get all the nutrients you need.
So it's about making informed choices.
Exactly,
Is-
being strategic.
Yeah. So for example, if you're not eating animal products, you'll need to think about getting enough vitamin B12,
Okay,
which is mainly found in animal foods.
right.
You can supplement
Right.
or consume fortified foods
Right.
to make sure you're getting enough.
Okay, so it's about being proactive.
Exactly.
Now, what about the DASH diet?
Okay.
That one sounds kind of specific.
It is so the DAS diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension,
Right.
was specifically designed to lower blood pressure. So it targets a particular health concern.
Exactly. It emphasizes fruits, vegetables,
Yeah.
whole grains,
Mm-hmm.
lean protein,
Right.
low-fat dairy,
Okay.
while limiting saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium.
It sounds pretty balanced.
It is.
Yeah.
And studies have shown that it can be very effective
Wow.
in lowering blood pressure.
Really?
Yeah, even more so than medication in some cases.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really highlights the power of food
Mm-hmm.
to impact our health.
Yeah, food can be so powerful.
It really can.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the Whole30 diet.
Okay.
This one seems a bit more controversial,
It is.
but maybe it can be useful for some.
Yeah, it can be a valuable tool for some.
Okay.
So the Whole30 is an elimination diet
Okay.
where you cut out certain food groups for 30 days.
Okay.
The idea is to try and identify
Right.
any potential food sensitivities,
Okay.
reduce inflammation,
Okay.
and reset your eating habits.
So like hitting the reset button on your diet.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that are off limits?
So the foods that are eliminated include sugar,
Okay.
grains, dairy, legumes,
Mm-hmm.
alcohol,
Okay.
and processed foods.
Wow, that's a pretty long list.
It is.
What's the thinking behind that?
Well, the people who created the Whole30 believe that those foods
Yeah.
contribute to inflammation,
Okay.
digestive issues,
Mm-hmm.
hormonal imbalances,
Right.
and cravings.
Okay.
So by eliminating them,
Yeah.
you can kind of reset your system
Okay.
and then slowly reintroduce them
Mm-hmm.
one at a time
Right.
to see how your body responds.
So it's not meant for the long term,
Exactly.
just to identify problem foods.
Yeah, it's more of a short-term intervention.
Right.
And it can be really helpful for some people, especially people who are struggling with things like
Mm-hmm.
digestive problems,
Okay.
autoimmune conditions,
Oh.
or suspected food sensitivities.
Right.
However, it's important to note that the Whole30 has its critics.
What are some of those concerns?
Well, some experts argue that it's too restrictive
Okay.
and it could lead to nutrient deficiencies
Yeah.
if it's not done carefully.
Right.
And it can be hard to stick with long term.
Yeah.
And for some people, it can trigger disordered eating.
So definitely not for everyone.
Not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Should be approached with caution.
Exactly. And it's important to talk to your doctor
Right.
or a registered dietitian before starting any kind of restrictive diet,
Right. Especially one like that.
especially one as intense as the Whole30.
Okay. Yeah. Good advice.
Yeah.
So we talked about all kinds of different approaches here,
Yeah, a whole range.
from the Mediterranean to plant-based
Right.
DAS diet, even the Whole30.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that
Yeah.
these are just a few examples.
Right.
There's so many different approaches to healthy eating.
Right.
And what works for one person
Yeah.
might not work for another.
It's all about finding what works for you.
It's
Yeah.
exactly finding what fits your needs, your preferences,
Yeah.
your lifestyle.
Yeah.
But regardless of the approach you choose, there are some fundamental principles
Okay.
that apply to all healthy eating patterns.
So what are those non-negotiables?
Okay, well, first and foremost, it's about prioritizing whole, unprocessed foods.
Okay.
So things like fruits, vegetables,
Right.
whole grains,
Yeah.
lean protein,
Hmm.
healthy fats.
So it's about getting back to basics.
Exactly, focusing on real food.
Yeah, real food.
Yeah, and minimizing processed foods.
Okay.
Added sugar,
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy fats,
Right.
and excess sodium.
Okay.
Those are the things that lead
Yeah.
to inflammation,
Right.
weight gain,
Hmm.
and chronic diseases.
Okay. That makes sense. But it's not always easy to resist.
I understand.
Processed foods are everywhere.
They are, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
The more you nourish your body
Yeah.
with real whole foods,
Mm-hmm.
the less you'll crave
Okay.
those processed options.
Right.
Your taste buds will actually change.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
you'll start to find more satisfaction
Okay.
and those natural flavors.
So it's like retraining your palate to
Exactly.
appreciate the good stuff.
Exactly. And it's not just about what you eat.
Yeah.
It's about how you eat.
Okay.
So mindful eating
Right.
can make a huge difference.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
So mindful eating is about paying attention to your food,
Okay.
savoring every bite,
Mm-hmm.
listening to your body's cues,
Okay.
slowing down,
Right.
engaging all of your senses,
Yeah.
and being present in the moment.
So not just like scarfing down your lunch
You're the opposite of that.
in front of the computer.
Exactly. And when you eat mindfully,
Yeah.
you're much more likely to notice
Yeah.
your body's signals
Okay.
of hunger and fullness,
Yeah.
which can help prevent overeating.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So tuning into internal cues,
Exactly.
not just external portion sizes.
Exactly. And another principle that's often overlooked is hydration.
Oh, right. Water.
Yeah, drinking enough water
Mm-hmm.
is crucial for pretty much every bodily function,
Okay.
from digestion to circulation to temperature regulation.
I know I should drink more water.
Yeah,
I always forget.
any tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
try carrying a reusable water bottle
Hmm.
with you everywhere you go
Yep.
and sip on it throughout the day.
Right.
You can also infuse your water with fruit
Oh.
or herbs.
Yeah.
Or even a splash of sparkling water.
Okay, so make it a little more exciting.
Yeah, make it more appealing.
Good tips. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious about what the document says about personalized nutrition.
Okay.
Seems like one size fits all doesn't really work
Yeah, that's so true.
when it comes to eating.
We're all different.
Yeah.
We all have different needs and preferences and lifestyles.
Yeah.
And what works for one
Yeah.
might not work for another.
Exactly. And the document mentions things like our age and our gender.
Right. Activity level.
Yeah, all these things.
Or cultural background even.
It all plays a role.
All these factors determine our individual needs.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
You have to consider all these different pieces
Mm-hmm.
to create a dietary approach
Yeah.
that really fits you.
Okay. So how do we personalize our approach? Well, it's a bit daunting.
Well, it can seem overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be.
Right.
You could start by just paying attention to how your body responds to different foods.
Okay.
So tuning into those internal cues,
Mm-hmm.
becoming more mindful of your individual needs.
So it's like being a detective
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
for your own body.
Keep a food journal if it helps.
Okay.
Notice which foods give you energy,
Yeah.
make you feel good, or maybe leave you feeling sluggish or bloated.
Okay.
And consider exploring different ways of eating as well.
Right. We talked about the Mediterranean diet.
Exactly.
Plant-based
Yeah.
and others.
And remember, within those, there's room for personalization.
Right. So
Yeah.
even within the Mediterranean diet, there's ways to tweak it.
Exactly. So, for example, with the Mediterranean diet, you might find that you really thrive on a lot of seafood.
Okay.
Whereas somebody else might do better with more emphasis on legumes.
Right.
It's all about experimenting.
Yeah.
And finding what works for you.
So taking those broad guidelines
Yeah.
and then fine-tuning them.
Exactly. Based on your own bio-individuality.
Right.
And don't be afraid to get some help.
Okay.
Registered dietitians can be so helpful in creating a personalized plan that takes into account all your specific needs and goals and preferences.
So it's like having a coach for your nutrition.
Absolutely. They can help you navigate the world of nutrition.
Right.
Separate fact from fiction and empower you to make informed choices.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So we talked about paying attention to our bodies.
Yeah.
Experimenting with different approaches.
Right.
Seeking help when we need it. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, one thing that's often overlooked is gut health.
Okay.
So our gut microbiome,
Yeah.
all those trillions of bacteria living in our digestive tract, play a crucial role in our overall health and well-being.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, including immune function, metabolism, even our mood.
That's fascinating. I've heard a lot about the gut microbiome, but I'm still not quite sure I understand it.
Well, you can think of it as like a complex ecosystem.
Okay.
With all these different bacteria that need to be in balance.
Okay.
And when that balance gets disrupted, it can lead to all kinds of health problems.
So how do we keep those bacteria happy?
Well, a diet that's rich in fiber is really important.
Okay.
Fiber acts like a prebiotic.
Okay.
It feeds the good bacteria.
Right.
Probiotics, which you find in things like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut, can also help replenish the good bacteria.
So we're talking about fruits and veggies and whole grains again.
Exactly. All those things we talked about. And then adding some fermented foods as well.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And there's even research now on polyphenols, which are plant compounds that you find in brightly colored fruits and vegetables that can also promote a healthy gut microbiome.
So it's all connected.
It really is.
Yeah.
Those foods that provide antioxidants and fiber are supporting your gut health as well.
So win-win-win.
Exactly. And when your gut is happy, your whole body benefits.
Right. So better digestion.
Yeah.
Stronger immunity.
Yeah.
Better mental clarity even.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive on healthy eating.
Yeah.
We started by saying it's not just about weight.
Right.
It's about overall well-being.
Exactly.
We talked about the building blocks of a balanced diet. We debunked some myths.
Yeah.
We talked about personalized nutrition.
Yeah.
We even looked at the gut microbiome.
It's been quite a journey.
It is.
And I think one of the key takeaways here is that healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive.
Yeah.
It's about making conscious choices, experimenting, finding what really nourishes you.
Finding what works for you.
Both physically and mentally.
It's about moving away from that diet mentality.
Exactly.
And just finding a lifestyle that works.
Yeah, a lifestyle that supports your overall well-being.
So to wrap up, what's one piece of advice you'd give our listener?
Stay curious.
Okay.
Keep learning. Keep experimenting. Keep tuning into your body.
Okay.
The world of nutrition is always evolving.
Right.
There's always something new to discover.
It's a lifelong journey.
It is.
It's a learning and growing.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
That's a good point.
There are resources available from books and websites to registered dietitians.
Right. We all need help sometimes.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that brings us to the end
I think so.
of our deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Me too. It's been great chatting with you.
Likewise.
And a big thank you to our listener for joining us.
Thank you.
We hope you feel inspired to take your health to the next level.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy and healthy eating.